All right. It appears that we are live. I made an oopsie and had to order a part in order for the car to move forward here. And so I figured instead of having like half a video or no video really, I would just go live. So we'll see how this goes and see what goes on here. Not sure how this will work. But for now, I will go ahead and begin my workings on things. I need to tackle all this wiring harness because I have a like an extender harness going on to the injectors, so I can kind of hide them under the intake manifold. So I'm gonna separate all that wire, I think, from this big bunch right here, and that way I can run it individually or separately, and hopefully have some more hidden wires in here. So I guess we will tackle that today. Or at least work on it a little bit. Let's see here. Can I? I'll do this. Would you? Sorry if you're shaking a bunch on the camera, typing. Would you like more live? And boo. Hopefully that does something. Look at there. All right, well, I'm gonna start tearing into this harness, I guess. Luckily, I have a stool out here now. Let's bring you this way. Can you even see what I'm doing down there? Not that it's like, oh, I'm doing something amazing, but it would probably help for just for conversation's sake, huh? That's good. I think you're a little crooked, but you'll be all right. Let's see. I've got all this stuff labeled, but it still is a little bit overwhelming sometimes looking at a bunch of wiring. Let's get the loom off of here. I need a flathead. And we can remove these clips right here and get this loom off of here. And whenever you're ready. If I pick up on it, it should come apart. Why aren't you? Let me get this tape off of here. Hello. Thanks for joining on the live. I made a oopsie and had to order a part, and so rather than having no video or half a video or whatever, I figured I'd just do this instead today. There we go. One down. I don't know why this one's not working the same way that one did. That was pretty simple. Get my finger in there. I need a pick. Hopefully I don't stab myself. danger, danger. Why are you not working like this one did? You look different. Mayhaps. Maybe back here. I know this is super riveting content, but you get to see the behind the scenes stuff. Hey, there we go. I got it. You get to see all the nonsense that's in between most of the cuts that I do. You're so close. Come on. There we go. Good Lord. Why were you so difficult? Anyway. All one piece of wood. Yes, I need a razor blade. Razor blade. Two. Hey, looky there. So far, live content seems to be working. Wow, that tape is so dry rotted that it broke off as opposed to like cutting. This should be fun. Because that's everywhere on here. There's some tape on some of these harnesses that I've taken off that has been like so old and like dry rotted, it's like hard. And that's this here, and it's like snapping off as opposed to pulling off. You hear that? That's just old cruddy tape. I'm not sure what kind of tape they used here though, but it's definitely not just like regular electrical tape, which, you know, why would they, I guess, but it's it doesn't leave like a sticky residue behind, and so that's handy for me. And there we go. That piece is all done. See if I can like scoot you guys down. Yeah. I have you on like this little crappy tripod that I have for my phone, and so there we go. You may tip over. I'm not guaranteeing that you won't. There we go. If all of a sudden you guys go for a ride, I apologize. This tape is wrapped all over the place. So, where to find the end? That's often the hardest part. Is it you? It's just breaking, so that, I mean, I guess that makes it a little easier. Okay, we have the injector section of the harness untaped from this little bit right here, if you can see that. It's like, it was all bound together here. So, we got that undone. Now that's a separate piece of loom, but we're still taped up. But being as you are very old and brittle, it shouldn't be too hard. Actually, that's working. All right, I'm gonna cut off this one little piece of loom here. It's like a bridge or a connector piece of loom. Man, they wrap these wire harnesses so weird. well, it's probably not weird to them. I don't know. I don't do production of automobiles or their electrical stuff, so this could be normal. I have you sitting on a box also, so hopefully that is sturdy. Okay, we're now unbound. And I apologize if some of this is like hard to see, but you're on my phone. I can't really zoom in. And there's nowhere to put you over here. I hope I don't, the same thought process, like this is not like super in-depth, but I hope my same thought process when I was doing the main engine harness was, I hope I don't regret digging into all this wire, but we'll see. Okay, we got one injector here, and the other three are here. Even though, hang on, this wire, yeah, okay. Loom comes off with all the dirt and dust. And now we got more tape and more sections of wire. So let's take you. And I see this is leaving behind some sticky shit. Sticky residue. Okay, those two injectors are separated. Now we'll just mosey our way. That's like a weird connector, but mosey our way down through here. I hope these are not like entwined in all this. Oh yeah, there we go. Now, these are separated. I could probably leave these connected, so we'll do that. Now, this is split. I'm not even sure what these go to because I didn't label these. Forgot to do that, and yeah, no clue what those go to, but we'll figure it out. So we have these that go to crank position sensor and MyVec $, so that's the expensive solenoid. So I know where that goes. So, oh, come on. Now see, this is what I was talking about, being entwined. This wire here, this one for this harness, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this individual wire is like mixed in with this wire. So I can't like fully split it apart. How stupid is that? Anyway, let's go this way. Now that the injectors are separated, I can like re-bunch these together. And then when the new harness gets here, we can run it how I want to. I did do, what did I tell them? 10 inches? So we're doing, the reason why I'm doing all this is because, if you're just joining, I have, Rywire is making me an injector extender harness so I can hide these like under the intake manifold or route them kind of hidden, like do like a wire tuck, hopefully. And so I'm separating the injector wiring from all this wiring so I can run it how I need to. But that harness is like 10 inches, so They plug in and then run down. I'm going to put it between the arms of the intake manifold, like down into the fingers of them. Not sure that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. And they'll go under. And so hopefully with this, we'll have more room and the wires are not like super tight. We'll see. Hopefully the plan works. I hope I don't, like I said a minute ago, I hope I don't regret digging all into this wire and separating everything. But I'm not like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything drastic here. I'm just separating what they have taped together anyway. Razor blade. Almost poked one of the wires. Off. You know, for this tape to be as brittle as it is, sometimes it just does not cut. There we go. I don't want to push too hard. I feel like I'm digging into the loom. Oh. Come on. There we go. What are you? Man. You get a good piece going and then it breaks. There we go. Hello, hello. Okay. I got this piece of loom separated a bit so I can get to the other wire here. Slide that down. Okay. You seem awful short. So you must be for cylinder, what is that, 4? Or injector 4? Let's see. Maybe if I undo this one roll of tape right here, I can get you out of this. Nope. What a tape job. Not sure if any of you have ever dug into a wiring harness in a car, but I don't know how. I guess it's done by machine, but all this tape and stuff is just, there appears to be no order, to be honest. It's just like every wire, let's tape it all up and we'll intertwine everything together. And then there's no discernible way to get it apart again. I'm gonna undo the tape off of this wire loom on this injector piece. Because for some reason on this one, they taped all the way up the loom. And slice. That makes me nervous. I'm afraid it's gonna like slip and I like slice into a wire or something like that. This wire, dang on down anyway. Two votes on the poll. I feel like I dug into this so hard. There we go. I was like, but the tape is just not splitting. But there we go. I don't even know how they get this tape. They tape it and then it goes like inside of the loom. Like, how do you get that in there? And then come out and around it. Again, like I said, I'm sure it's just super riveting content. But you know what? We're doing what we gotta do. This is the small shit. Small and tedious. This takes forever. And I worked on this yesterday as well. With some other wiring. All this stuff here that goes on the back of the motor to the alternator, etc. I made my alternator cable and my new starter cable yesterday. Got that taken care of because the connector ends on those cables were like so corroded and stuff. When I took them off the car, they broke. And so I just made a whole new cable with some new wire. I always feel like, maybe it's just me, if you think so, or if you do this as well, you can leave a comment down below, but when it's a little wire like this, I call it wire. But when it's like, this starter wire is like 4-gauge wire, I always want to call that cable, but it's all still wire. Maybe I'm overthinking it, which is 100% likely. You're killing me, Smalls. We're right here at the end, and every piece I grab is breaking. Can I just... Haha, got it. Separate the loom. Okay, that leaves you a little bit exposed, but you'll be all right. So I'm gonna put some new loom around you. I think maybe I'll just separate this like this. I don't know why I have the hiccups. Let's check on the pole. Oh, go away. There we go. It would be nice if I had the engine up into its place where it's supposed to be, so I could lay this and figure out how I want to run it, or if I want to separate it from this like main piece right here, this bigger piece of like all this wire coming in, I could separate it and get more out of it, but I don't know if I need to do that, you know. Get some more tape off of here. Stop breaking. Whew. Slice. I cannot get a hold of this thing. Come on. Why are you so hard? I feel like I'm like cutting the loom. There we go. God. You will come off. Haha. Don't know if you guys heard that little zip, but that was some tape coming off. Crap. That should do it. More wire exposed. The more I expose, the more nerve-wracking it is. Makes you feel alive. Knock sensor. So that's on the back of the motor. I could technically separate all this stuff too. What are you? Shit. The painter's tape from the bottom of the motor. Knock sensor. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this tape because I don't need it, because I have it labeled again, because I wasn't sure what this was at one point in time, so I just put, it came from the bottom of the motor on my tape. So, now I have my knock sensor, so I know what that is. So I can technically remove this tape here. And the good part is I can always put more tape back on it whenever I get it onto the car and where it needs to go. This, what are you? You may be, I think you're the map sensor. No, that's this one. With my little silver prong here. What are you? There's only there's only 4 injectors, and I've got 4 plugs up here. This one looks different though, but that doesn't mean that it is what it is, or what I think it is, because all of my injector cables or connectors are like broken and stuff. I don't know how that even happens, but they are. This one, on the other hand, does look more like the others here. This is the idler plug on the throttle body. This probably goes to the throttle position. I do believe it does. So those two are right there on the right hand side of the manifold. And then, so I can keep these separate. Then you run to the map, which I don't even know how that works, because the map is on the other side of the intake manifold. I wish I could read my writing on this one. That would be super handy. It was. Okay. This one just says was unplugged. I think, was this the wire? That was one wire when I was taking this thing apart that was just kind of hanging back there on the back of the motor. And I thought it was one of the wires that was in this harness. And so I removed those, I depinned this connector. But I'm thinking now that I may have, the doggos are going wild. The wrong one. We'll see. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Let's lay this over the engine and see where these wires go. Oh. So you will lay like this. God, those dogs are going wild. you'll go like this. Yikes! And then you'll mount, I think you might mount up here. So that's that. All of you guys split and go to the water stuff. And then all of you guys, because these were just taped together, so why were they all bundled up if they go to two separate places? I'll never know. Myvec Big Money No Whammy Solenoid. Whatever you guys are. So you must go to the last injector. Knock sensor has an extra long cable that runs up. You go to the map, not MAF, and then you guys went here. Okay, it's making more sense now. Sometimes you have to just get up into it, you know? I'm gonna remove these towels. Tickling my nose. Then you guys for sure run straight down. You go to the oil filter housing, alternator. No. Attached to. Yeah, oil filter housing. Alternator, oil filter housing. Got it. If you're curious, yes, I'm doing the same thing I would be doing if you weren't over there watching and I was on live. I just talk to myself and I talk out where things are going. I'm sure if you were to walk by my garage, it would sound like I was an insane person. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sneeze hold, woo! Let's see. Down and around. We'll put you down there. Like so. You're getting all tangled, but I can untangle you. Once you're down there. Just go down there. There we go. Alright, now, see this little clip. Let me see if I can show you. There are, on these clips, these are smaller than the one I'm looking at, but same principle. As soon as my tape comes off. There are random brackets in the engine bay, and they like kind of stick out a little bit. And these little clips that hold the wiring harness, they slide onto those little brackets, and that's how like hold your wiring and stuff in different places. And the one for this big harness that I'm moving right now is not exactly lining up, but it looks like it goes there. So what are we doing here, you know? Got all that down there. I need to like actually figure out which ones go to the injectors. So I need to run, if I'm gonna hide all this, which is what we're doing anyway, I need to run all this down, this big harness and everything down. So luckily it's like split from the like fuse box wiring. I know, I'm like, let me show you. You guys are over here. Turn the old camera around. So this was the thing I was talking about. I could have just done this. I'm not sure why I didn't, but this splits here. So I'm trying to run this under the intake manifold. And then my injector, like extender harness, can run off of the injector down between the intake manifold, and I can have all the wires hidden. That's the goal. Whether or not that's what we get is a different story. But we're gonna find out if it works. I'm bringing you over here now. Even though, like I said earlier, you might fall. Because this this tripod that I'm using is not exactly the best. I don't know if I trust that. I set my can on top of the top of the engine hoist. I can see my head bumping into that and knocking it off, so I'm gonna not do that. So, going under all of this, again, it would be super handy to have the motor up. But here, I'll show you why we're doing a live today and not a video, and the oopsie that I made. If you can tell what I'm missing right here, go ahead and comment. But the accessory belt runs through here, crank, water pump, power steering, air conditioner, and then there's a pulley that goes right there. And I totally forgot to order that. And I was going to put the belt on, and I got it all wrapped around, and I was like, there is like 6 miles of extra belt. Why is that? And then I realized that hole right there where the pulley mounts, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. So, had to order that, and instead of having half a video or no video at all, I figured I would just do a live and see how that goes for the first time. So that's why you're here. And that's why we're working on the car together. And you get to sit and listen to me figure out in my mind where all this wire goes. I just don't understand how this goes, though. I know all you dudes go over here, so maybe if I plug them in, it'll put the harness where it needs to be, you know? But then I could be stretching some cables. I don't want to do that either. I did get, if you've been following along and you've been watching this stuff, I did finally get that Skunk 2 dipstick tube. That is in. The video for that is on the one I didn't get done this week because of the part that I didn't have. You'll see that later, but if you're on the live, you know it now. The dipstick tube is fixed. We actually had to use, I put them all up under some things, but the OEM O-ring, I had to put that onto the dipstick tube from Skunk 2 because the one they sent was too big. It just wouldn't go down into the block. So used the OEM one. Luckily, we still had that old dipstick here. I didn't throw it away like I did most of the other stuff. But we had that here. Could use the OEM dipstick O-ring, and it worked out. So that is on there now. That's been like a 3-week project trying to get that fixed. I've had 3 or 4 different dipstick tubes, and the original one they sent, the bracket that like screws to the intake manifold, it just broke off. It was like kind of rusty underneath of it, and I think it just separated and broke off. They sent me a new one. That one was it that one? It was too short vertically, so had to send them another email, and they sent me another one. Granted, despite the issues, like Skunk 2 was really, really cool about it, and they, there was no charge. They sent me, they sent me everything I needed and took care of what needed to be taken care of. But it just took forever because, obviously shipping. It has to come here from California. I get it. I go to put it on like a day or so after that. Doesn't work. I have to email them. They email back. Just a long process. Trying to resolve it, but what are you? Water temp. Do you plug into? No, that's not. Is it? No, of course not. Why would that be? Actually, no, it is. Well, look at that. That plugs in there. I think it plugs in. Okay, so it's not going all the way in, so maybe you don't go there. Anyway, back to trying to figure out this stuff. I think I'm gonna, it's risky, but this thing is in the way, just a little bit. And I can't like look over into there. But I have it there because my engine and my transmission is sitting on some like Harbor Freight carts. You know, I don't want to say anything too bad, but the Harbor Freight carts make me nervous. Let's put it that way. And so if the Harbor Freight carts decide to take a shit and everything falls, this will catch it because I have the chains like, not like super tight, but like enough to where like if the engine would fall, it would catch it. I want to unhook this and get this out of the way so I can like work in here and do my thing, but also would be a little bit nerve-wracking with no support. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Not sure if I want to do that or not. I'll just try to work around it for now, and then we can we can decide. I should probably remove that little plastic clip so I can get the rest of this wire loom off of here, but I'll wait a minute. Oh, I bet that's where that clip goes. Onto my shifter cable bracket way down there. Because when it's not way down there, it's up here, and that would probably go right to that. Very good, very good. Let's see. Damn, we've been here for almost 45 minutes. Time's a flying. I think that does go there. So this goes down in there. This goes right here. Now what the F do you plug into? This one little dude here. Here's what I think are the injector plugs. Whenever I was taking this apart, I was like, you'll be able to tell. It won't be no big deal when you're putting it back in. It's obvious which ones go where. Here we are. See, the only reason why this one is tripping me up is because, but granted, this one is way the hell over here. It's tripping me up because, granted, the other wires are broken and whatnot as well, but this one doesn't have the brown piece. These do. All the other ones do. And then the one over here in question, it also has the little brown plug. So I'm like, you must be an injector wire, or you wouldn't have the little brown plug. But I think I'm getting caught up in the fact of that the rest of them are broken, so it may look different, but I think I'm right. I'm gonna take this down. This is in the way. I can't I can't look down into there, and I'm going to, what do I have here? This is insane. Okay, we'll let that right there to make sure not to scratch anything. I would be so pissed. All right. Now, let's do this one. Right there. Now, we're totally unhooked. Harbor Freight. Please do me right. And don't let my shit fall. All right, now I'm gonna slide you out of the way. Just briefly, just so I can lean over into here. Oh, it's cold in the garage today. It's making my nose run. It's like 40 outside. Which, it's not too terrible, but it's cold enough, I guess. Okay. You, sir, do not appear to go anywhere else. I know that you guys go here, so I can pull you this way a little bit. Wait. Let's see. I think... No, it's not. To the COP. How the F does that go to the COP? You go up here. So tangly jangly. And I know full well that I'm not going to get this complete today. We're just kind of hanging out. Because the extender harness has to get here and all that kind of stuff. But I just thought, wow. I'm going to... That old like heat shrink around the wire just breaks. It's so like dry rotted, I guess, and like old. It just splits in half. So that's cool. Luckily I have some more. I might just cut that off later and redo everything up to the connector. When you go to the map sensor, I am gonna have to unhook all this stuff here, like to the map and everything, because we're running it a different way. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start separating all this shit too. Okay, let's move you back to the box. That sounds funny. Back to the box. And there we go. Tilt you down. I'll move you back over here. And I'm gonna flip my harness, reattach the hook to the engine and then we can unhook all these wires. I think I have it like knowing where it needs to go. Let's get you up here. This guy. This seems like a lot, but when you get it split up, it's not too terrible. expensive boy. Solenoid. This comes off of here. You guys go there, and then I can work on this piece. Splitting it apart and getting it separated. That way, I can run things how I need to. And once it's on there, then I can like tape things back up and whatever. Reloom it, all that kind of jazz. I'm probably making this more complicated than it should be too, but what can you do? You know? Damn it, this tape's not sticking anymore. We can grab another piece. Marker. What do you even say? Are you even helpful remotely? Let's rotate you. There we go. Map sensor. Okay. Trying to keep it taped up because it has this little silver plug in it, and I don't want to lose that. Well, not plug, but like clip. I don't want to lose that. So I'll try to cover it in tape. Go on there. I could just order a new one if I lost it, but one, I don't want to lose it. Two, I don't want to forget that it needs one. There we go. Because that is a possibility as well. Map. Sensor. Hello. How are you doing? Alright, I'm gonna split this. Where's my little... apart. Ow. Love stabbing myself. Screwdrivers. Go through. Haha. Removed. Now, tape. More tape. Aren't you glad you get to watch me take off more tape? Well, you don't have to watch me. You can just leave, I guess, but it would be cool if you stayed, hung out, watch me take off tape. It's super, it's super interesting, isn't it? I did find the end much quicker that time. That one wasn't hidden from me. And it's not dry rotted. Look at that. We actually have some, well, it was a super short piece, but anyway, this guy, I need to take this clip off too. So I can unhook all these bros that have been together for, what's this car now, 16 years old? 17 years old? It's wild to me that this car in a few years will be considered an antique. Jesus. That was under the transmission. I'm gonna have to blow my nose in a second, I think. I don't want to keep sniffing. Please don't poke myself. Please, me, don't poke me. Got it. I know you didn't see the struggle like I saw it, but whew. Okay. Let's move you. I'm gonna tilt you down. I don't think you'll fall at that angle. I'm gonna go blow my nose real fast. Please hold. I have returned. It's 57 minutes. We've been here almost an hour. We've gotten some tape taken off. Where's my water? I'll probably stay live a little while longer. I know watching this video back, an hour long. Yeah, I'm gonna split it. I was thinking if I wanted to actually take all this off of here, but I think I'm gonna have to. I think it'd be better. It is in its own little sleeve, so that helps keep everything like together somewhat and not getting totally out of hand. Okay, we are now split. I'm gonna pull this tape real hard to get it to come apart because it runs all the way up the other harness, this one here. So you go throttle body and probably TPS. So we'll take you out of this. Just kind of scary. We'll give you your own path. You'll have your own loom and rewired or retaped and all that stuff. Then this fella, who has quite a bit of wire going to it actually. Where does this big thing go? Do you just end? Because I don't see you into any of this. Anyway, let's take this tape off of here. This is becoming more more exposed wire than I planned, to be honest with you. But I think what I'll do, I'm gonna pull this off right here. And then I'm gonna tape the bottom of this That way all the wires that are together kind of stay together, but I'm undoing all of this like tape section right here to split these up since they're all bunched up and stuff. I can readjust it that way, but having it down here to know that all this goes together, in my mind anyway, is what I think I want to do. So we'll wrap that. So all of those stick together. They're all like really good friends, and they stick by each other. Shit. There's so much tape. I don't want to cut this like I was doing it on the wire loom because there's no wire loom and I don't want to cut into a wire. So this is going to take me a second to sort through this, I think. My apologies. Oh, come on. Almost had it. Where's my... I'm going to give it a little cut. Not a big one. Just enough. Because there is another piece of like protective sleeving here. So I can cut on that without worry. Can you even see that? Slightly. So sticky too. I feel like your hands get so dirty and like covered in just random stuff dealing with wiring. Like my fingers are like black and all I'm doing is handling wiring. Not that I care, I'm just saying like I feel like working on the car, like under it and everything else, my hands don't get as dirty as it does messing with wire. It's weird. Maybe it's not. Look at this, making such good progress. Sleeving, unsleeving all this jazz here. Alrighty, that slides down. More unraveling. And there's that big thick green wire. You go to the knock sensor. I see. I'm gonna undo this tape right here. Okay. This plug is with the map sensor plug, and they're bunched together, so that leads me to believe that they are extremely similar in location, given the fact that that's all we got. I'm a genius, in case you didn't realize. I'm pretty sure on my phone, which is what you're on currently, I have a bunch of images of where the wiring came from. So later I'll go back and watch or find some of those pictures and videos, and I will figure out where exactly this goes. But this looks like an injector clip. I think map sensor, and then this is like the first injector, because it has this little tab on it. Maybe that's how I can tell them apart. Tab. See, no tab. This little one that I was confused about earlier that didn't have the brown end on it, it's something different. Go away. I don't know what you are, but you're not what I need here. So, mayhaps that will allow me to disconnect this from this. Yeah? Let's see. Injector, injector, injector. Random stuff. Cam, crank position sensor. Crank position, so that comes up from timing side. Separation, no. This one here. So ultimately, we're making more strands, but it will allow things to be hidden and ran their own way. Will it create more of a mess? Maybe. It may do the exact opposite effect, being as though there's a bunch more like spidering out, but I don't know. We'll see. Body stuff. You're supposed to be together through here. Like so. This knock sensor thing can stay with this piece. Man, I don't have a clue. I'll have to go back and look at some of the like wiring schematics and stuff like that to see where this plug goes, because I can see what color the wires are, but I don't have the freaking slightest idea where that goes. Which is probably not good, now that I think about it, but maybe this goes to there's something that's coming to mind that is under the engine, or like, well, not under the engine, but on the back side of the motor. Maybe it goes there. That is where the knock sensor goes, but it has a longer cable, so this could be up top as well. What's some of my gauges over there? But that wouldn't be in the main harness. Why would I have that? Anyway, we'll figure that out later. I can sit here and ponder that for the next 30 minutes and give you some more riveting content. Injector. Mat. I think I'm going to pull this apart and get this out of here. Like that. That way I know, A, it was in this, B, I have now split it. I need to clean the garage up a little bit. It's such a mess. I have things everywhere. Trying to get things done the last few days, and it's a bit of a mess. But I also need to figure out, show you here, this guy right here. This is the hood release cable, and if you'll notice, it doesn't go all the way to the hood, and I cut it. Is what I did. I cut the cable because it was stuck over here, and I couldn't get it out, and I was taking everything apart, and I got not frustrated, but I was just like, I need it out of here, so I cut it. Not knowing, probably should have done it before I cut it, but I didn't look up to see if I could reorder that, and that cable has been discontinued for quite a while. So I either have to order a new hood, a carbon hood, something like that, to where I can put hood pins in it, because I don't want to drill into my OEM hood. I just don't. And so if I can't find a cable, we have to get a hood that I can drill into and get some hood pins, some arrow catch pins, and that'll be fine. I mean, it is what it is. That'll be okay. It'll be a cool hood on there, and we have hood pins. Or I figure out what other car, because I'm sure there is one that uses that hood cable. I think I found one. I think it works. I'm gonna order it, and then we'll put it in and see. But it's a shot in the dark to see if it works or not. But like I said, if not, new hood pins, that'll be fine. And I also have to run, I was thinking there, I also have to run the red cable there. That goes back to the trunk, to the battery. I have to run a new one of those, because this one was... A phone call coming in. It was just slightly short to where like the cable back in the back was kind of pulled kind of tight, how I have it routed. So I ordered more cable of that to get it back there and be to have some slack in it. So got to rerun the battery cable and all of that stuff. So lots of wiring actually coming up in the near future, which is, it's fine. I don't really, this kind of stresses me out because I'm like digging into the wiring harness, but wiring in general, I usually don't care too much. Like, I'm neither here nor there. It is what it is. But we got to put the end on our return line for our fuel. That's kind of hanging out. Once we get the motor up into there, once I get that pulley and I can install the accessory belt, then we can get the motor up into this. I could put it in there now, technically, but I don't want to have to, once the pulley arrives, I know I can't get a wrench to it up into there and get it tight and all that kind of stuff. So once that happens and we get that installed, I can get the motor up into there, and then a lot of this will be a lot easier because the engine will be where it's supposed to be. Right now I'm trying to map it out and stuff like that, but we're missing like 6 or 7, 8 inches, maybe more, of a difference for this wiring. So mapping it out when it's not able to be like exactly mapped out is kind of hard to do. But I am going through getting everything split like I need it to be, so the job is much easier and we don't spend several hours once it's time to do this, doing this. So I guess it is what it is for the next little bit. You are definitely you may be the second injector. Like your first, your second, your third, your fourth, because you're closest. I think that might be it. I don't know that it matters what injector goes into where. I'm sure it does. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm going to untape this from factory tape. But I'm going to put another piece of tape on it just to keep it together for the time being. And then with it being new tape, I'll know that I wanted to split it. Okay. I have no clue what that spelling is on that. BA4C? If I didn't write like a toddler, I wouldn't have this issue a lot of the times. Cam cover. BA4C. What is, that can't be what that says. I think it's back with the C and the K look way more together than they should be. Back of cam cover, which would make sense. So I'm gonna, I'll leave it because that's what I originally put on there. And if it's not, I don't want to put, whatever. But yeah, COP. Cam sensor front. Are you cam position sensor? $76 minutes. I think I'll go with 90 minutes, and we'll call it there. Cam sensor front. Yeah, I think that's the position sensor. That comes from no. It's not. Well, oh, I had that earlier. I know where that is. It's that triangle plug. You're over here. You're right here. All right. Trying to figure out, or trying to think, not right now, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna like mount all this wire on the underside too, so it's not like dangling, you know? Anyway, I think I'll just hang out for a bit. Check out my board on the wall. It just makes me more frustrated in my mind because I've marked off everything on that one side except for installing the accessory belt. We've got accessory belt, spark plugs, coil pack goes on, other wiring. I need to put the oil cooler on, run those lines once the motor is in place, install T-case, restore front subframe, which is already done. I have to put all the new stuff onto the subframe. We bought a new one. If you haven't been following along, we have a new subframe that I have powder coated, all new powder coated stuff and new hardware, titanium hardware, etc. on the subframe. So that has to go on. Install subframe. Install starter plates and starter. Not the starter plate that goes behind the clutch, but the other little small one on the bottom. That would suck if I forgot to install the starter plate behind the clutch. If you haven't seen any of the videos, the transmission almost broke me. That was such a pain in the ass. I see guys do it by themselves, and I don't know how they did it. Like, they have it on the hoist like I had it, and they have it on the carts that I have, and they just pop it right on. And my transmission did not want to work that way. So it took me like a day and a half to get it on there. But we did get it, and I do have the starter plates on there. But if I would have had to have taken the transmission off to install something like that, I would be very, very sad. We got to Cerakote the frame studs that the subframe bolts to. So that should probably come first before we install the subframe. But yeah, Cerakote the frame studs, tighten all the brake lines that we have up top here. Run the rear brake lines because this kit that I have from finishing lines. Let me show you. This guy right over there, all those soft lines, that was a full kit, and it actually takes the place of all the hard lines on the car. And so I have to go back and take off the rear hard lines. We have to drop the gas tank again to get that stuff out of there. Not all the way, but just enough to get those lines out of there. And then we have to run rear brake lines, check all, our catch can is coming. It's being made right now by STM. So we have to, I have that written down there to check all catch can, tank, and hardware, etc. Then we just have to check all of our fuel line connectors, make sure everything is tight, button up and zip tie all the vacuum lines, and fluids, engine oil, T-case, coolant, brakes, power steering, transmission, which I found out that the transfer case, they obviously, for years, they recommended the OEM stuff, and the OEM stuff is on back order for who knows how long. They said there's no ETA, and they, who I talked to, they said that there are over 3,000 orders for that transfer case fluid. So they did tell me a replacement, but I can't remember it, and you're on my phone. So there is a replacement, but I have to order that, all the fluids, everything like that. So we're almost there. We got, we're stuck right now because of that pulley, but we're almost there. And then the whole, everything in the interior, like the dash and all that stuff, has to go back in, gauge wiring, all that kind of stuff in there. There's so much in there, wiring wise, that we need to do. But then we have like downpipe, exhaust, all that kind of stuff, turbo, putting all that stuff together, putting that on, exhaust manifold, radiators, a bunch of cool stuff is coming. Actually, I'm very, very excited to finally get all the parts that I have sitting upstairs onto the car. It'll be nice to see everything into the engine bay here. I've been looking at it for what seems like forever. It's been quite a while. But seeing it all come together slowly is nice. I wish I could do it faster. I wish I could just order everything I need at one time and just throw it all on there, but that's not in the cards right now. And obviously, and it's just, you know, I wish I had the time to come out here and just like work on it for hours and hours and hours. I do that anyway, but it's only a couple of times a week. But I am going to, in 2024, the beginning of the year, I'm going to make a push to really start putting out some content and start putting out some stuff and coming out here as often as possible to film for other things. I've got like a sheet or a document in Google that is just chock full of ideas and things to film. And so I definitely want to start pushing that, start pushing some content and some other things. But we're getting there. Once this thing is done, well, done, but once it's running and we can drive it and all that stuff, we'll have a bunch of that content as well. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do with this car, or a lot of things I want to do with this car. And yeah, I'm excited for what is to come. But first, we have to figure out all this wiring and all that stuff. Hopefully it won't take, they didn't say, and I don't want to ask, but hopefully RiWire doesn't take too long with that harness for the injectors. It won't really matter, but I would like to get them plugged in at least, but it won't matter either way because I can still run all this stuff without having that extender harness here. But it'll be cool to have it here. You can get everything plugged in. I think once I have the engine up in there, and I can run this wire how I need to. We've already got all of our sleeving and stuff like that and all the loom. I'll be able to make this thing look nice and new. I'm gonna put this wire back. I'll put this loom back on this wire, just so I know it went there. I need to figure out what that goes to. Red wire, and red wire with black line and gold dots. Whatever that means on the schematic. Go. There we go. It's so dry. It's like crunching. There we go. Okay. All right, we're coming up on 90 minutes. I think I will dip out. If you're watching this back and you made it this far, I appreciate it. This was a long one, I know, but it's alive, and so, you know, I didn't want to just hop on here for like 10 minutes, you know, hang out. So I think I want to do this more often. So I did a poll. Let's see. Of the few of you that voted, everyone said 100%. So maybe we'll do some more live stuff, especially once we get the motor back up into here and we're doing some like finishing touches. That'll be cool to do, and kind of see it all kind of come together. So maybe we'll do some live stuff. Maybe I'll schedule up some live stuff like once a week, something like that, if we can get it done. But yeah, thanks for sitting with me most of this 90 minutes if you did, and watching me take off tape off the wiring harness. I'll do some pondering, and I'll schedule like the next live maybe next week, and yeah, we'll see where we're at. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Bye.